These adorable octopi and squid toys are so cute. You will need a pair of scissors, fiberfill, a plastic hook, a plastic needle, some yarn, and a 24 peg or 12 peg loom. To begin, simply make a slip knot using your yarn. Begin to cast on using the E-wrap method. I'm going to keep knitting for about 15 more rows, and my end result should be this. I'm simply going to go ahead and cut my yarn using a 12 to 18 inch tail, and then I'm going to thread my needle. I'm using my plastic hook to assist me in doing this. Like you would for removing a hat, I'm going to use the drawstring bind off method to take this project off the loom. This involves taking your needle up through each loop on each peg and pulling those loops off the pegs. Your end result should look like a hat. I'm going to go ahead and take off the needle off of the string. And then I'm going to take this strand through the project so it's on the inside of the hat-like object, and then I'm going to fully cinch up the top. Then I'm just simply going to tie a knot with this strand and then cut it off. Then I'm going to take the strand that I started with and wrap it around the central knob. Like I would for a brim on a hat, I'm going to match up each first stitch on the first row to a peg. This will result in every peg having a stitch on it. It'll create this basket-like effect. Using my yarn, I'm going to go ahead and make another slip knot and place this on the central peg. Then I'm going to use the first 3 pegs shown here to make an I-cord. I'm simply going to wrap the yarn around the back of the I-cord, the 3 pegs, and then here's pegs 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to knit off peg 2 first, and then peg 1, and then finally peg 3. Then just go ahead and push these to the bottom and wrap them again. Then I'm going to go ahead and knit off peg 2 first, followed by peg 1, and finally peg 3. Every time you complete a row, you want to go ahead and pull the working project down to the bottom. I'm going to continue knitting this I-cord. Go ahead and knit for about 12 to 15 more rows, depending on how long you want the tentacles. Then I'm moving the loop from peg 2 to peg 3 and knitting it off. I'm moving this loop back to peg 2, placing the loop from peg 1 onto peg 2, and knitting this off. I'm going to E-wrap it and knit it off for the final time. Using my fingers, I'm going to take this loop off of the peg loom and slide the yarn that I cut off through it. This will create a full tentacle. Then I'm just going to go ahead and make another slip knot and place it on the empty neighboring peg. And I'm going to use the next 3 pegs to create another I-cord. I'm going to repeat this process all the way around the loom. To make things easier, hold the yarn behind the peg like shown here. This is the end result of my project. What I'm going to go ahead and do to clean things up is to tie a knot off of each working yarn, or I should say each strand of yarn, and then I'm going to go ahead and snip it off at the edge. This will clean up the project a lot. After doing so, this is what it's looked like, and I left one piece of strand on. I'm taking my fiberfill, I'm going to break it into small parts and stuff the octopi head, and then I'm going to kind of fold it to make the shape that I want. I'm threading my needle, and then I'm going to go ahead and stitch this baby up by just stitching the bottom layers up using miscellaneous loops around the bottom. You want to give it a circular shape, not a squarish or weird shape. After I've gone ahead and stitched up every tentacle, I've tied a knot with this, and then I'm just clipping the strand of yarn. Make sure you add faces because it adds a lot of character to your cute animals. I went ahead and cut a string of black yarn and threaded it through my needle, and now I'm just going to go ahead and create the eyes by creating an X shape, and then a few stitches later I'm going to create another eye. Now I'm making a smile by threading the yarn through various parts around the middle area of the octopus head, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add cute little corners to the mouth and shape these as I wish. Once I'm done with the face, I'm going to go ahead and take the needle and thread it through the back of the object shown here. I'm going to simply tie a knot, cut it off, and stuff it through the object. I'm going to repeat this with my other strands. There's the final product. These cute squids are so cute and will go with your octopi family. Using my flower loom, which is a 12 peg loom, I'm simply going to knit, but instead of knitting 15 rows for the body, I'm only knitting 10, and instead of 8, I'm only making 4. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye!